Hello everybody, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode in the My Player Career Mode series. Today is the day that we finally get to play our Europa League knockout round against Spartak Moscow. We'll be playing both legs in this episode, so we will know if we are through to the round of 16 or if we've been knocked out of the Europa League. And with us putting all our eggs in the Europa League basket, we kind of have to win it. So we're looking for a good performance. But to show you really quickly as well, I simmed the game against Dion to make sure I was fully fit for this game here. We ended up winning that by 3-1, so a fantastic result there as well. But pretty much the league is PSG's at this point. So yeah, we knew that. We've been seeing the dominance from them for quite some time. So for us, it's all about the Europa League. And our first game is upon us. I want to waste no time, jump straight into this. I've been excited to play the Europa League round of 32 for... well, since the draw was really made, because, like I mentioned, this is pretty much our real shot at a title here with Marseille before we go back to Dortmund, so I really want to try and win it. So without further ado, let's head off into the game. I think the skill moves are still not fixed, so yeah, they're still grayed out for me, so we'll just have to deal with it. But there is the team anyway. We're away first. I speak about away goals all the time, so I'm not going to talk about them again, but we have a very, very strong team. Very good start to the game here for Marseille. Rad will find us with a nice pass in towards him again. It goes actually to Rongier instead. And Rongier has put us in front after 15 minutes. The return pass was actually supposed to go to Rad, but instead Rongier said, no, I'm having it. You can see Rad there, he was pointing, he wanted it back. But Rongier takes over and he puts it home. 15 minutes in, Marseille 1-0 in front, an away goal to play with as well. I mean, if we're wanting to win this, we have to be sort of winning this game quite comfortably, in my opinion. You know, we're going to come up against probably better teams than Spartak Moscow, and I mean, no disrespect when I say that about them, but there are better teams in this Europa League run, so if we want to be winning it, we have to be winning games like this. Here is Javi Garcia, off towards Retsos. Retsos to the feet of Rad, now towards Player, flicks it up, back towards Rad. Hooked clear away, but Player has it again. As Marseille looking for their second opportunity. Rad in towards my feet. Back towards Javi Garcia. Honestly, just trying to work a shot here. Garcia towards Player. Player through. I'm not sure why he passed it. I'm just trying to get a shooting opportunity, which now comes our way. And the finish is there. It wasn't the finish I was hoping for. We finessed it, but I did not mean to put it in that side of the goal. I mean, there was a lot to be said about the poor defending there. You can see it just was ricocheting around. We get the shot away, and like I said, I didn't mean it to go to that side of the goal. I meant to go near post. The goalkeeper can't save it. Marseille 2, Spartak Moscow 0. Here is Kral off towards Till. Till to the feet of Bakeyev. Bakeyev's ball back towards Till. Mandanda's there. It falls again, but he can't get a clear shot with it. And that was their best chance of the game, the home side, to find a way back into the tie. Obviously, there's still a second leg to come. But at 2-0 down, it's pretty much big advantage Marseille, and a goal back for them would have been huge. A good save by Mandanda stopped them there, though, and then the follow-up just wasn't quite good enough as Till has it back. Juliev now with the ball at his feet, looking for a chance. They've grown into the game quite well here, Spartak Moscow in this second half. 20 minutes to play, ball in towards the box. Rodriguez gets a poor header on it. It should be McKenna to win it. It is. Rongier then flicks it on, and that's us out of our defensive third. Full time here in the game. Spartak Moscow 0, Marseille 2. It is advantage to us as we head into the second leg in a very good position to be in. Gotta say though, second half, it was typical us. We took our foot right off the gas, allowed Spartak to dominate the second half. They only really created one chance. Mandanda saved it. But I was hoping we'd go on to get 3 or 4 in that game and have this job done after the first leg. I still feel like we are through. Because it's going to take pretty much a massive mistake at our place. But we definitely didn't push on as much in the second half as we could have done. So, yeah, we'll have to work on that for the second game. Like we did earlier with Dion, I simmed the game against Angers and we won it by 3-0. That is so we can be fully fit for the second leg against Spartak. But I have something to show you as well. I checked out the comment section of the previous episode. You guys are awesome for all the comments you leave me. But there was one in particular that came from Lionel, who said that there's a fix to be restored. Now, I checked it out. He basically said we go to our squad hub, we check out our attributes. It still shows that we are grayed out on skill moves. If we scroll to another player and then scroll back down, they are restored. Now, if we take a look at this, when I go to Payet, he has 4-star skill moves. If I scroll back down to myself, it now shows me I have 4. However, this is only a visual representation. It doesn't actually affect me, I don't think, in-game, because if I go down to Rad, who has 3-star skill moves, it then shows me that I then have 3-star skill moves. So it only, it's like it visually has a little bit of a bug there and whatnot, because if I also go to my accomplishments, it still shows that I have 0. So, yeah, I was hopeful, and I appreciate the comment, Lionel. It definitely, at first, made me think that it was fixed, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that is actually the case. So, I was actually going to talk about this later on in the video as well, which I will do. I'll cover it towards the back end of the video when we sign it off, about maybe looking at potentially restarting the series. We'll talk about that, like I said, later on. Because if it is that it only has fixed new games, it could be that we do that, because I am seeing you guys leaving me comments telling me about that. So we'll talk about that later on. But for now, let's head off into the second leg against Spartak and see what we can do. Are we going to get through to the round of 16, or is the comeback on for Spartak? The game plan tonight for us as well is just to try and dominate possession, not allow Spartak any chances to get themselves back in this game as they try and put a crossing towards the box. I feel they need an early goal to try and find a comeback here tonight. All we've got to do is just make sure we don't give them any. But yeah, I will be looking to go for the win here as well, as we look to break away from this corner. And look at all the space we've got. Ball through towards Torvan. Offside. What? How close is this? Oh, well, I mean, that's very close, isn't it? My mistake. Should have played it earlier, but I felt like he was onside. Clearly not. But yeah, like I mentioned, we will be looking to win the game. I'm not here to just sort of knock the ball around our back four for the next 90 minutes and then see it out like that. Player off to Rongier. Rongier's ball off towards myself. Player's made a good move. There's the pass to him. And there's the goal that surely seals Marseille's spot in the next knockout round of the Europa League. Very, very nicely done. And player just calmly does it with the finish, doesn't he? Left-footed, past the goalkeeper. And his little celebration as well there just kind of shows you we're disciplined, we're ready, we're confident. And now it's about getting that job done and making sure that we go all the way to the final of the Europa League. Fantastic stuff from player. 3-0 Marseille. I think that's game, set and match here. Here we go again, looking for chance number 2 as we just drive towards the Spartak goal. I mean, player hasn't really made too much of a good run there to open up the space for me, but we still make it work. And it's Marseille 2, Spartak 0. 34 minutes remain here, and we've doubled the advantage on the night. The thing is, I was running down the right-hand side there, and I was looking for the cutback to player, but he kind of delayed his run way too late. You can kind of see he ran towards me a little bit, and that allowed the covering defender to have an easy job. But in the end, we still made the chance happen. Fired it in the top corner. Marseille now cruising in the game. Again, though, look at that goalkeeping. We scored one in the first game where it was really close to him. And there again, it's not completely away from him. He just doesn't seem to react quick enough. And it's in the back of the net. And that is it for the second leg. We matched the scoreline that we managed over at their place. A 2-0 score here to end off the second leg. We got a goal in both games as well, which moves us on to the round of 16. Who awaits us? We will find out the draw in a few moments' time. A very professional performance. It has taken 28 league games, but finally, PSG have dropped some points. They've drawn 1-1 with Rennes, which has meant that their 100% record is now no longer intact, and they have finally dropped some points. Albeit, they still sit 15 points clear of us, so yeah, it's still their title, but it's finally good to see them dropping some points as well. For the Europa League draw, I'm not sure if it's been made yet, so we'll have a quick look. This is the first time I am seeing it. It has, and we have got PSV in the next round. Braga will take on Galatasaray. Leipzig Inter, Valencia versus Lyon, and elsewhere Chelsea Frankfurt, Sevilla Watford, Arsenal Betis, and Milan Utrecht are the other games going on. So yeah, PSV for us. That's an interesting little tie, that. I'm quite looking forward to it. When is the games being played? They are played in March. So I think what I will do is I might go ahead and sim this Bordeaux game and finish the episode off with this game against Lille, and then we'll talk about the future plans, if you will. Then I'll probably play that PSG game, because obviously I've seen some comments asking me to sort of restart the save and whatnot, so we'll talk about that once the game against Lille is over and done with. So let me skip to that game and see if we can get through to the semi-finals. And Bordeaux was a 3-1 victory. So, Lille in the quarterfinals of the Cup in the Coupe Nationale. In a really good position, have given it away. Red Sauce with a great pick out to Benedetto! 7 minutes in, and Benedetto has scored. What a ball by Red Sauce. Just before that, I was saying about how we lost possession in a really good area. But then, it was poor from Lille as they passed the ball straight to the feet of Red Sauce. And what a pass it was into Benedetto. And he doesn't miss those. We've seen it when he's been in the team, how good his finishing is. And Dario Benedetto is the man who puts Marseille 1-0 in front. And as it stands, if we can hold on, we're going through to a semi-final of the Coupe Nationale. Great movement by Marseille as we get another chance here. And I've dragged it wide. The move itself was quality. The finish was far from it. Red Sauce towards Rad. Rad back to Red Sauce. He's turned and gone backwards, but now he will feed the pass. I'm going to get on the ball here, but the question is where am I going to go with this? There's Rad. And again, he gives it off. A minute until half-time. Looking for the cut back towards Rad. There it is. He's hit the post, but it's gone into the back of the net anyways. Marseille double their lead. Lille are hit on the counter. And at the moment, we're not even celebrating because I'm stood in the net, jumping up and down for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But what a finish by Rad. And with a minute until half-time, that is what you love to see. The counter-attacking that we are so good at doing, it seems like, in this series. And Rad finishes it off. Hold on a moment. Just as we've come out for the second half, Lille have got a goal back. And it's Osmehem who's got it. I mean, I wasn't even thinking we were going to concede there. I wasn't even looking at the screen. And next thing I knew, the ball was in the back of our nets. Here is the move itself, though. I mean, it's poor defensively from Marseille. It really is. Come back out second half, and it should have been dealt with. 2-1, Lille back into the game. They did not a lot in the first half, to be fair. But that's a goal back, and all of a sudden, game back on. Apologies for not commentating that sooner, but like I said, we kicked off. And then as soon as we kicked off, pretty much lost the ball and expected us to deal with the danger, and we didn't. Javi Garcia will find us with a pass. 25 minutes to play here. We now need to probably find another goal just to be sure that our spot in the semi-final is secure. Torvan down the left-hand side. Looks to send the delivery in. It's a poor ball in all honesty. And this is the typical Marseille style. Do so well in the first half. We've come back out in the second half and we don't look like the same team. We see this far too often. 14 minutes remain here and we are under pressure in this late stage to hold on to a 2-1 lead. We look so secure after that second goal going in. But since then, as I mentioned, second half, we just don't seem to play as well as we do in the first half. Typical Marseille style as we're just trying to smash it up the field of play and hoping to get it as far away from our goal as we possibly can. A little bit of composure from us, though, will allow us to keep hold of possession. And there is now only 9 minutes left. Ali raises ball in towards our feet. All I want to do is make sure we don't give away the ball cheaply, as now we have a chance to go on the attack here. Looking for an opportunity. There's the ball through towards Torvan. And his shot is saved by the goalkeeper. That's the first real opportunity of our second half. Torvan really should have scored. I get to take the corner as well, which I don't get to do too often in the Marseille team. So I'll happily accept this. We go towards a near post. It's won by Javi Garcia. It's cleared off the line. There's Player. And from a ridiculous angle, Player restores the 2-goal advantage. 6 minutes to play. Marseille are surely heading through. What was this by Player? Look at this angle. That's incredible. And he's managed to somehow steer it in. I don't know how he's done it, but he has. Fantastic stuff. Injury time in the game now as Lille look for one more chance and they find it. A decent effort, just slightly off target. And with seconds remaining, that is going to be game. We are going through to the semi-final of the Coupe Nationale. I'm not quite sure if we'll get PSG or not. It's going to be quite fun if that happens. I really, if we are to get them, want them in the final rather than the semi-final. There is full time. We'll check out the draw in a few moments, sign the episode off and talk about where we go from here with the skill moves and such. Here then is the draw for the semi-finals of the Coupe Nationale. We've managed to avoid PSG. We've got Saint Etienne and they play against Nantes. So if we beat Saint Etienne, I'm going to imagine that it will be PSG in the final for us, which is good because, like I said, if we are to get them, I want it to be in the final. We're 12 points behind them in the league, 28 games played. How many games will we play? So we play 38, so 10 games to go. 12-point gap to PSG is what we are working with. It's looking unlikely, but it's not impossible. We're still mathematically there. For our personal progress today, what have we managed to do? We've gone up by 1 overall to 87. we are getting up to the higher stages now of our career. But again, the skill moves there, grayed out. And even if I do move up, you can see how it affects it. So with that, let's move on to the actual skill move side of things and moving forward. So I completely understand the comments saying that obviously if it's going to be the same scenario to restart the series. As of right now, with the patch note that came out, there was no mention from EA, there was no clarification whether or not the fix would affect current games or if it would only affect new save games. So what they should have done is they should have clarified that. They've yet to do it. So in my eyes, that means that it should affect any saves that you have with a My Player Career mode. Clearly that is not the case. As I mentioned, they've not put anything in those patch notes to tell us whether or not it affects just new ones or the current games as well. I did a little bit of research into whether or not there's an answer to that, and I checked the FIFA forums, and it seems like I'm not the only one wondering that. There is still no clarification on there either in regards to whether or not it only affects new saves. So in the meantime, off camera, I will start a new My Player, and then I will quickly get to the reason as to why your skill moves go, to see if it is only new save games. Obviously, I've been seeing around that people have started new saves and it's still in there. I've seen some people say they've started new saves and theirs is completely fine. The thing is, right, if we are to continue this save in the hopes of it actually fixing our current save, and then it turns out that it never does and it only affects new saves, it'd be pretty pointless to continue, right? We may as well just start, as you guys are saying, a new save right now. However, if it should have fixed all current saves, I don't want to restart and then find out that, you know, in like 2 weeks' time, it ends up fixing it on this save. So it's all like, it's a bit kind of, I guess, we're waiting to see. And again, it's frustrating because with the game being out as long as it has, EA should have clarified these things. It shouldn't have even been in the game in the first place. So it's pretty much a waiting game at this point. But like I mentioned, I will have a little go off camera to try and see if I can see if the new save works or not. If it's still the same, they still need to fix it. It's unacceptable. And I will let you guys know the results probably in a separate video to kind of look through it and see how it's worked out. But for now, I just plan on continuing the series and hoping that my skill moves will get fixed. So if you enjoyed today's episode, a like would be greatly appreciated. I will let you know how I get on off camera with the other new save to see if it is just that or not. I'll put that up on the channel as a separate video and whatnot. Until next time, have a great Friday evening, and I will see you all again very soon with another video. If you are new around here and like what you see, hit that subscribe button below. And until next time, adios.